Hey everybody, it's Guaranteed Realty. This message is to sellers. I'm running into some issues here in this market that just want to go over with you to make your process easier when you get ready to sell your home. First I'm going to start off with one that I haven't run into before, but my company actually is an LLC. So if you own your property in an LLC, if you're not aware, every March in Texas, you have to file your franchise tax return. It's pretty simple to do. If your revenue is under, I believe, 1.2 million, you can ask your CPA, but it's on the Secretary of State website. Had a deal that's going to be delayed because of that, so that's just something to keep in mind. It could cost you money if you haven't filed it because the buyer isn't in control of your LLC and you could cause their lock to break, especially if it comes up late in a transaction. So that's just something to keep in mind. Remember, file that franchise tax return. Usually it's investors, flippers that do this. I've had some clients in the past that they were investors, but their primary home was in an LLC, so just keep that in mind. So, some other issues. Say that you've lived in your house for 10 years. You've never replaced your hot water heater, your HVAC. Depending on the brand and the quality of that hot water heaters, I'm not a plumber, but just going off personal experience, the home I live in, I've lived in quite a while. I've put in 3 different hot water heaters in that time frame. Mine is in the attic, so up in the attic, hot water heaters don't last as long as they do when they're on a pedestal in the garage. But life, from what my plumber tells me, on average, the low end hot water heater will last you 6 years. The high end, 9. If it's a really good one, maybe 12. So keep that in mind. Get if you bought a really inexpensive one or you haven't changed your hot water heater in the last 10 years, you're probably going to need to. And if you have to get that done when you're under contract, a licensed plumber has to do that. So just keep that in mind. That can add additional costs. Say that you have a handyman that can do it. Not advocating having a handyman do it, but that right there is something you can do. Shut an issue down. HVAC, depending on the brand. I don't want to name brands, but I have one that's a really good one. It lasted 15 years. So if your home's around 10 years old and you haven't changed the HVAC, talk to your HVAC professional. Get them out there. Take a look at it, especially if it's an R22 or Freon, because my HVAC guy tells me there are 6 substitutes for Freon. So something to keep in mind. But if if it is an R22 system and your coil starts to leak, you're going to have to replace the whole system. So if you do have an R22 system, call your HVAC person, especially if you're thinking of selling, because it may be time it's going to have to be changed. And better now than when you're in the middle of a transaction. Trying some other things. If you see rotted wood, peeling paint, those are things that can kill a deal. If you have holes in the wall, leaking plumbing, take care of all those things. It doesn't hurt to hire an independent inspector to come out if you're thinking of putting your home on the market and you've lived in it quite a while and you're not sure that maybe everything's functioning the way it should. Now, they can't see what's behind the walls, but at least still to give you a good feel. That's something you could supply to the potential buyer. If you put your home on the market, show them the list of things that have been done that says to the buyer, hey, this seller's serious. He took care of issues for me. I may not even need to get an inspection. Not saying that'll happen, but if it does, they're less likely to find things. Roof, something one of my insurance companies told me that some insurance companies are now, if your roof is more than 15 years old, you may not have coverage on the roof. You may just get actual cash value. And typically from what they've told me, you're good on getting a roof replaced if there's a storm date within the last year or so. Something to keep in mind. Again, I'm not an insurance professional, just providing information that I've been given. So talk to your insurance, or talk to a roofer, a good roofer. I know some if you need some good references. So I hope you're doing well. Hopefully this is helpful for you. Just trying to help you make your selling transaction as stress-free as possible. If I can be of any help, have any questions, reach out to me. Hope you're having a great day.